so much flavour. And today, also, if you look out to see not only a huge presence from the Royal Navy, but also a massive presence from all the local folks, 7.7. But also, if you go to the Bournemouth Air Festival site, there'll be a link to Onyx, who are also transmitting all this.
Makes a bit of a burden on the network. We keep trying to use the Twitter feed, the Facebook, and all the other stuff, showing photos of what's going on here at Bournemouth Air Festival. Hopefully you can all use those.
Maybe some of the companies are missing a bit of a trick in this respect. I've no idea, you know, what the parameters of putting in booster stations is, but...
You now see the jets collapse around 6 to 8 feet away from each other as they form a short diamond formation. The jets fire above us. They're led by Red 1 squadron leader Jim Turner. It's his third and final year as the team's leader. He's a former Jaguar pilot, very experienced in the display world, having displayed the Jaguar. Spent 3 years previously with the Red Arrows, including leading the Synchro pair. He's also been a professional pilot for the Royal Saudi Air Force's display team. You can listen in to Red 1 now. Back. Here, Reds 2 and 3 now, 2 and 5 acknowledge the move to Eagle. They do so very metronomically so that they can have a cadence set up which enables them to extend and retract 8 and 9, move to the outside of the formation to give us a very wide shape, so to enable them to manoeuvre their formation as one as they fly around the sky. The pilots have to anticipate their control inputs, and they do so by using the cadence in Red 1 voice command. So listen into that in a minute, but now let's have a huge round of applause with some patriotic red, white and blue in Phoenix.
Wow.
And fly the Cyclone. As the Synchro pair slingshot out to the front, you need to look to your left for Enid. Who's going to perform the Goose? Red 6 and 7 now roll upside down. This is the corkscrew. Being joined by Reds 8 and 9 for the displays finale. They're back in that 6-ship Vixen formation. Get your cameras ready. This is the Vixen break.
Oh no, I know the Vixen break. Oh, so
with the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team, the Red Arrows.
the vessel handily flying the Jolly Roger is Wet Wheels, and she is playing a civilian craft that has been captured by pirates. And the first thing that we do in any operation, whether it's a kinetic operation, a humanitarian operation, is to put our reconnaissance out. So Captain Hugh Beard, the CEO of HMS Westminster, more on her later, has sent up that Merlin from the RFA Argus, and she is looking into and assessing exactly what we've got. A handful of pirates who've taken over the ship potentially could only pose a limited threat. However, today we have on shore a pirate compound, and this is playing a compound with maybe 10, 15-foot mud walls, and the pirates themselves will have been up to 60 to 70 feet, and I can tell you the incentive not to let go is pretty strong when you're coming from those heights. So the Lynx has got to be kept level, flying into the prevailing wind, and you'll soon see those Royal Marines starting to come down the rope. At the same time, you have the Merlin standing there with those two snipers providing overwatch, and the Rib just about a couple of hundred metres behind as the first man's down. So he's down, he'll be off the rope. You can, of course, have multiple men on fast roping, which you can't do with abseiling. No need to do that in an operation like this. Slow and steady and measured is the order of the day to get the guys onto and to take over that vessel. So that's the second man down, and the third man will be in a second, and then, and only then, we'll consider the next phase. A joint venture between the French, the Belgians and the Dutch. Very, very capable mine hunter. She identifies mines, sends down an ROV, a little mini submarine, or one of her 4 divers to destroy them. And she had last been deployed operationally, funnily enough, about a month ago off Normandy, where she was hunting, destroying British legacy mines from the Second World War. But today she's not going to kill any mines, she's simply going to mark ashore. The Landing Craft Vehicle personnel, the LCVP, well, she can take 35 fully laden Royal Marines. She can take us 210 nautical miles. That's got rain sort of over the horizon. And what have we got here? Well, goodness me, we've got 2 Vikings that have been landed further down shore. This is a uniquely Royal Marine piece of equipment. This is fully amphibious. It can swim. It can contain a section of Royal Marines. The rounds are being fired. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're not looking to capture this compound, we're looking solely to exploit any exploitable information. So the guys will be looking to extract computers, mobile phones, maps, anything which can help us in the next operation. Nothing there, so they're looking to peel back. And this is really just a reverse of what has happened with the guys, the fire teams down, being covered. You can see the 2 GPMGs, the general purpose machine guns on top of those Vikings, looking out away from the action. Why are they doing that? They are preventing further enemy incursion. Just in case there's another bunch of pilots. And the 2 helicopters, the Lynx and the Merlin, are just looking to conclude with a Flypast. In reality, they would just be keeping all their remote sensors looking into the shore for any further pirate activity. This is still quite a fragile time in reality, as the guys are just looking to recon, get themselves back to the mothership, and then get on to the next operation. The only ship I haven't mentioned today.
The blades arrived in mantle formation. We have blades 1 and 4 in the middle, blades 2 and 3 are on the outside as they go over the top for the mantle loop. Now, as the blades fly away from us here on the seafront, they have moved into car formation. They're going to pull up into vertical. 2 of the blades will fly a stall turn, and 2 will fly a pushover with the champagne fountain. Now, as the blades come back towards us, they're getting ready for this next manoeuvre, which is a new one for the 2014 display. The 2 blades in the middle are going to pull 10 G as they break in front of each other. This is the crossfire break. Now, it's the left blade on the left and right hand side. This is blades 2 and 3 that you want to keep your eyes on at the moment. Now, these get flying. looking left and right into his cockpit. They prepare for the next manoeuvre. It is our signature manoeuvre. It's the most difficult of the entire display to fly. Stalling to the left, this is the hammerhead. You're thinking that you recognise that, you may remember, we actually are the 4 aircraft that are flying out of the giant teacup on the Yorkshire Tea advert. Now, as they fly back towards us, we dedicate this next manoeuvre that the Blaze is going to perform to the brave few who fought in the Battle of Britain. It is the Spitfire roll. Officer commanding for the Battle of Britain memorial flights. Now blades 2 and 3 are flying away from each other now. They're each going to fly a series of snap rolls. And they're going to leave the display line clear for blades 1 and 4 who are about to put their smoke on. They're going to climb high to the sky to about 2,500 feet. They're going to put the air towards the water in the double knife edge dive.
Biggin Hill in Kent, who was primarily responsible for the more formation of what we know now as the Battle of Britain memorial flight. He flew Hurricanes in the Battle of Britain in 1940 and went on in the 50s to put together the last 3 remaining Spitfires from the temperature and humidity monitoring unit, and out of that grew what we see today.
The aircraft continue to be involved in fighter sweeps in and around northern parts, attacking ground targets by the dive bombing and strafing in the lead up to the D-Day invasion, softening up the enemy defences. Didn't come out of those operations unscathed. 60 operational sorties in 60 days prior to the D-Day landing. The aircraft suffered major damage on 3 occasions, including a wheels-up landing, that was soon repaired, put back together again. And once also, Boeing opted and engaged 4 ME-109s in this aircraft, happily making it just out by the skin of his teeth.
Truly a legend that lives on today, and a contribution made by the aircraft. With a full bomb load, the aircraft had a range in excess of 1,500 miles. The Lancaster's performance, ruggedness, reliability, and to many its sheer charisma endured it to crews who were proud to fly this machine. An impressive total of 125,000 aircrew who served in Bomber Command during the war. 73,000 of them became casualties, and as you've just heard, a remarkable 55,573 gave their lives. It is sad that we cannot be joined today by the Canadian Lancaster Vera. As you know, the technical issues. It will be back in the air later in the year. But another 50,000 Canadian servicemen joined the battle for Europe. Now we pay that tribute as the Lancaster passes. Solo with the gear down before rejoining for a final fly pass with the Spitfire. Civilian operators worldwide.
What type of Typhoons do?
What you see here today is the military version of the DC-3 airliner, which first flew in 1935 and used extensively by America's airlines. But recognizing the huge potential this aircraft had as a military transport, the United States Army Air Command specified a few changes to make the aircraft suitable for military use. Operating more powerful engines, the replacement of the old airline seating with utility seats along the walls.
They're at one end. Well, that's it.
The aircraft strengthens in its D-Day markings. You will have noticed the difference in shapes and sizes between the different aircraft. We also have, of course, the Typhoon.
Now the Lynx will very shortly be climbing for a 360 wing over, allowing the crowd to get a much better view of the brand new helicopter, the Wildcat, as it makes its way along the crowd. Forming up to a 180 wing over, coordinated. Here they go, Lynx into a steep flight, nearly 40-degree nose up there. As he turns 180 degrees, very quick, very agile, this helicopter. And then running along the crowd at around 150 miles an hour now. Now both helicopters have a crew of 2, an endurance of around 2 hours, and can fly 160. It's very much a 21st century helicopter with a full glass cockpit, new chassis, new engines. The two helicopters really are a world apart. Just coming crowd centre now for a cyclic climb. Turning to face each other before nose over and turning away. As you can appreciate, a very difficult manoeuvre to fly. Now flying the Wildcat today is Lieutenant Commander Gary McCall. He's a helicopter training instructor at 825 Squadron in Yeovilton.
his job to teach baby pilot training of all new aircrew and engineers. The aircraft's primary role is to hunt and, if necessary, attack hostile submarines. For this, it is equipped with specialised radar and sonar combat systems that allow it to detect, track and destroy enemy aircraft, or seaborne craft, whatever the threat may be. The aircraft also hunts very effectively in the anti-surface warfare arena. In the Chinook class of weightless, weighing at about 14.5 tons. But despite that, still got an impressive top speed of 152 knots and can carry sufficient fuel for a radius of operation of over 200 nautical miles. So Ian and Rob Demain now will bring it into a stable hover. They'll go into a little rearward transition, as we call it, and then give you a little nod. When they give you a nod, do give them away, especially if you're and they give it a bit of a rotor rock from left and right as they come down the sideline. Another chance just to bid them farewell. They go off for their afternoon tea and tiffin and a well-earned rest, and then back to normal jogging fine. So well done, Ian Farr, thank you so much, and Rob Demain, Lieutenant Jimmy Lovell in the back, and on the end of the winch, Petty Officer Aircrewman Lee Williams, the Merlin Mark II from the Royal Navy. That we've got one more departure from the deck of Argus to go, and then we'll be moving back into the Royal Air Force training territory with the Tucano and Tutor aircraft. Now Dave's being able to exploit this beautiful cloudless blue sky we have here to perform his pulling the aeroplane almost onto its back, pointing down back towards the waves, and then rolling through 90 degrees, put himself out onto what we call the B-axis. The A-axis, for those who don't know, runs left to right in front of us, and the B-axis goes away from us 90 degrees. And he's going to pull off on that B-axis, again, pulling back on the stick until the Tucano is pointing vertically up. He yaws the aircraft to the left and the right, and then back around to the left. This is what we call the noddy stall turn. The aircraft hesitates briefly in mid-air there before swapping ends almost within its own length and heading back down towards the waves. Now Dave, a very experienced pilot, and no stranger to display flying either, but in this aeroplane he's having to strain himself against the up to 5 times the force of gravity, which the body's subjected to during this display routine. Unlike a fast jet aeroplane, we haven't got GPAS or any other. It appears virtually to hang in mid-air, transitioning slowly from left to right, and eventually Dave feeds in once again the left rudder pedal. There he goes. And the aircraft comes down on a 60-degree down line. Now while I'm saying thank you also to Breitling, who are providing official timekeeping for the Tucano team this year, and also to the Royal Air Force Charitable Trust. So it's not an easy aircraft to see. Luckily a few extra markings on there, but essentially it's a composite aircraft as well. And it requires a lot of what we call energy management, and that is because it's got a 180 horsepower Lycoming engine in it. And Andy has to work hard to get through all his manoeuvres and still have enough speed, power and energy then to go into the next one. So hence you see quite a few descents and interlacing manoeuvres and repositioning between each of these. At times he will produce some really excessive G, and don't forget there is no G protection on this. He has to grunt and groan and really clench all his muscles hard to stop the blood draining from his head. And there will be one significant manoeuvre when he's pushing away from himself in an outside turn, which is really very, very hard. So we'll let you enjoy this now. An excellent display of aerobatics in a relatively low-powered aircraft.
all around the aircraft, above and below and out the sides, to protect the aircraft from enemy fighters. Particularly important, the United States Air Force committed to the daylight raids throughout the early stages of the war. Those 30 machine guns combined with the huge formations of B-17s allegedly made these early formations seemingly invincible to the enemy defences. However, the harsh realities of warfare meant that the enemy fighters soon found chinks in these large formations, and the overlapping, mutually beneficial became a captain in September 2010. He's also a display pilot of the Dutch B-25 Mitchell, and he's also got incredible 20 years display experience spanning the DC-3, Dakota, and the Russian Yak-50. He's supported today by Roger Mills, training captain, a former Concorde pilot, and has acquired hundreds of aircraft types and thousands of hours flying the Sally B.
This is where the canopy, the parachute is linked together and put on a display for you. And again, by popular demand, we only do it at Bournemouth. It's the Wingsuit called Frank Miller. So again, if you have got a camera or a set of binoculars, it's a great opportunity to get some really good footage. I'll take this opportunity then to thank our sponsors, without whom it would be very difficult to get here. First one was the They're an armoured infantry battalion. They move around the battlefield in the Warrior fighting vehicle. Our second battalion currently moves Wellington London to Cyprus. Most of the Theatre Reserve battalion taking up that role, but they'll react to any operational quality. Okay, let's give them a big round of applause then, ladies and gentlemen. Private Ford, followed by Fort Bailey and Fort Goodry. Well done, there you go. Private Ford showing off with the red and flag. Fantastic, well done, Private Ford. Okay, you can see the aircraft then coming in. Hopefully the second group will be released from the aircraft. What we do every year is we do a little bit of those people down on the beach. Big cheer when they come in, and again, if they do land in the sea, please let me know by your response. Simon Gearing, proudly flying the Oakley flag for us today. And again, they're down on the beach showing their support to us, so thank you very much for that.
No one even clapped.
Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause then for Simon Gearing coming into land.
Yes, and that was just a warm-up. That's for something very different indeed. Yes, their version. Yes, well, if you think this is extraordinary, you wait until this next manoeuvre in the hands today of Warrant Officer Class 1 Mick Kildee and Captain Neil Postumus. They will now perform the signature manoeuvre of Army aviation. This, just a standard battlefield helicopter, will now stand on its back with the trademark backflip. Taking their toll, this aircraft of course will be replaced along with the Royal Navy Lynx helicopters by the new Wildcat, as both services training alongside each other at Royal Naval Air Station Yeovilton. In a rearwards transition here now at about 50 miles an hour. It doesn't look it, but it is. The crew focused actually on something way, way ahead of them in the distance, as of course it's obvious they cannot see behind. So now with the tail up, they go through a 180 and reposition on the other sides. Alongside Mr. Gildee, Captain Neil Posthumus, anxious South African. Girls, look to your left and you'll see a remarkable sight. The very best imaginative thinking out of the box virtues of British aeronautical design and engineering. You could say that this aircraft represents the very best of the great British people. Vulcan has proved herself the single most popular aeroplane in the country. Many regard the Vulcan as the people's aeroplane. Proudly bears the title, the spirit of Great Britain on her nose. Thanks again to Adrian and Maggie Keats. Please welcome the Vulcan. Have given an extraordinary £20 million already to keep this aircraft in the sky. A phenomenal achievement. Costs £2 million a year to run. That's about £38,500 a week. Unsurprisingly, raising that sum with the helps of the likes of Adrian and Maggie has been a continuous struggle. But taken to the air again in 2007 has been a phenomenal success. This aircraft originally having been retired by the Royal Air Force in 1993. Crystal Olympus 202 Sharp turbojets, producing 60 head of one group on its nose. Those colours and those additional insignia representing all the Commonwealth squadrons in the 1970s, 9, 12, 27, 35, able to fly up to 640 miles an hour or Mach 0.97, an amazingly agile and effective machine. Over 20 operational missions in Afghanistan between them. Hugely experienced crew. Charlie's now running in for a nose over 360 on the B axis. Really good opportunity to see the tandem rotors of the Chinook and hear that distinctive blade slap. That's just how quickly you can stop 14 tons of helicopter. See now the ramp has come down as he kicks up some spray. And on the back you can see Sergeant Andy Caldwell with his big fluorescent hands. They're not his real hands, they're foam ones. Please guys, give him a good wave today. The crowd really appreciates it by doing this transition.
from 1,000 feet. Charlie's going to do 2 full rotations, 720 degrees. Then once again run along the crowd line. Give Matt the co-pilot a wave as he runs past.
Lancaster, Havilland, Vampire and Venom. This aircraft is intended to operate on Royal Naval carriers, featuring jet engines, turbojet engines and swept wings, incredibly novel, powered by 2 Rolls-Royce Avon engines. Design and specification continued through 1947, and the first prototype was built and flown at Hatfield in September 1951. That's to the left-hand side now. Lovely bottom shot coming up here. Where he's going, what he's doing, but I think we're looking like we're setting up for a dirty pass now. See the aircraft quite nice and slowly. Good chance then, I think, for the traditional Bournemouth wave. Hello to Simon Harkins, this wonderful locally flown Sea Vixen. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's give a big Bournemouth wave and cheer. I'm sure they're waving back. Let's hear it for the Sea Vixen. Delivered to number 5 Maintenance Unit Kemble in Gloucestershire before entering active service with number 3 Squadron at Royal Air Force Garland-Coast in Germany as part of the 2nd Allied Tactical Air Force. After a short period of time out in Germany, NATO, she was then reallocated to 229 Operations Conversion Unit, a training unit at Royal Air Force Chibnall, Devon. Actually in front now, Cole's coming on. Getting ready to pull up to the G there, 4 to 5 to 6G, pulling up in those tight turns.
Keen on aviation photographic shots, you can see now this unique formation going into line astern. They'll come through straight over, perhaps between the 2 ships, which will be just superb, straight up towards the Cumberland Hotel for the Heritage Bomb Burst. Was one of the first jets to eventually be able to catch it. Such was the extraordinary performance of this English electric Canberra. The aircraft itself was one of 5 aircraft selected for a complete refurbishment in the early 1980s. That included the installation of a very advanced American surveillance equipment and a data link system. Lieutenant Noel Rees as he brings the noise with the 2014 Royal Air Force Typhoon display. aircraft, so please give him a big wave.